What's a cancellation policy and when is it enforceable? This is a conversation that we don't like to have. So honestly, in our industry, sometimes we just don't have it. We put it in a little disclaimer when you make your online appointment, and then we don't talk about it until you no-show or reschedule at the last minute. So I'm seeing this a lot in some of my industry blogs and group messages of people dealing with cancellations. What do I do? My client has rescheduled on me a lot. My client always says they have a migraine. What do I do? So, you know what? I'm going to have the difficult conversation. Nobody wants to do it, but we're going to talk about it now. We're going to get those difficult things out of the way and be really honest. So this is a different kind of video today than what I usually do. I'm going to give you some insight into the industry. When a client calls last minute and says, hey, something came up, I can't make it, this is different for us than it is for an hourly or a salary worker. If you were to show up and at the last minute your boss says, hey, something came up, I'm not going to pay you for an hour of your day, you'd be pretty upset. That's not how this works. But we had an agreement. I show up, I do the work, and you pay me. And that's how it works in our business. So when our clients don't show up or they reschedule at the last minute, this can be a problem on our end. And where it may not be an issue if it's one or two, it happens a lot during different times of the year. Back to school, holidays, vacations. People will forget and then they reschedule on us last minute and other things tend to take priority. What the deal is that this is still a choice. We are still the choice that gets something else gets chosen over the appointment. And while we get really close to a lot of our clients, we know about your births, we know about when your mom died, we know about when your kids graduated, and the great things in your life and the scary things in your life. And we love sharing all of this. But we're still trying to run a business over here. And unfortunately, when we turn around, we're not able to tell the landlord in our office or wherever else, well, something came up. It doesn't work that way. So there are boundaries that we have to respect. And that's what this all comes down to, really, is just being respectful of time. We understand that things do come up. And if you were sick when you woke up this morning, it's not like you woke up and said, you know what? I'd really rather have a fever today and be throwing up than go to my appointment. We know that's not what happens. If you're truly sick, please don't bring it to us. We don't want to be out of work for a week. But if this is a common thing where you're like, oh, I just wasn't feeling real great today, we're going to probably ask you to get that looked at and get your health taken care of before you reschedule with us, because we need to all be respectful of each other's time. That's what this really comes down to. So when we talk about cancellation fees and policies, it's just that we need that time respected. If you give us enough time ahead of time, sometimes we have a waiting list and I'm able to call somebody and say, hey, I had something come open in 48 hours. Do you want it? Sure, great. Everything works out for everybody. Everybody's happy. But when it's the last minute and we can't fill that slot, then that makes things really difficult. And then that's when businesses end up going out of business, is when there's not business there. Make sense? So this comes down to a matter of respect. It's a difficult conversation to have, but I'm seeing it in so many of my industry group chats and all of that I thought, why not just get it out of the way and address it here? If you have questions about that, reach out to your provider, whether that's me, somebody else, if it's a massage therapist, an esthetician, a chiropractor, your hairstylist, whoever it may be. They'd probably just like to have the conversation, giving some respect to all of us and some solace for all of your appointments with Solace Body Solutions.